Hello.
Hello, is this Head Ned?
This is Head Ned. How's it going?
It's going well. This is Dustin from KMSU Radio. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Dustin?
I'm excellent. I'm excited to talk with you if this is still a good time.
Awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you called earlier. I was dropping my girlfriend off somewhere and ended up getting stuck in traffic. We were trying to find the place we were going, so I was preoccupied with navigating.
Oh,
yeah. How's your day been?
It's good. It's not worth dying in a traffic accident to talk to us. I know that.
Well, yeah, that's you got a point there.
Well, I'll introduce you to my co-host, Ton.
Hey there, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I am excellent. We're glad to have you online. If you're good to go, we'll get started.
Awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Head Ned, tell us a bit about the band that you have, Okilly Dokilly. What's the deal? How did you, it seems like maybe it's easy to figure this out, but talk to us about how you actually came up with the idea, and then, here we are.
Yeah, so Okilly Dokilly, we're the world's only Nedal band. The idea for the band essentially came from myself and our drummer, who we call Bled Ned. I think we were in line at a grocery store or something. I don't know. We were always coming up with like goofy ideas for bands, just imagining this band coming out on a stage. And it would, of course, have to be the most, hardcore, brutal death metal band, but with completely unfitting names. Something like the Cream Puff Boys or something walk out and play the most brutal metal you can think of. And so one of the names we came up with was Okilly Dokilly. We thought that'd be great for a band to step on the stage, have brutal drums, all these crazy things going on, and then when they say their name, they're Okilly Dokilly. And then from there we had the idea, like, what if we went the route of just going full Flanders on it, because that phrase is associated with Flanders. And we looked at all the reasons not to. We looked at we'd have to get the clothes, but one of the guys in the band worked for a clothing manufacturer who could get them. We're like, but what about finding people to do this? So we checked in with some friends, and everybody was on board, and nothing reasonable stopped us. So the band just kind of, by osmosis of the idea, became what it is.
Well, yeah, even if it did start off kind of as a joke, when you guys put it out there, it really kind of just blew up overnight on the internet. So really, you kind of have to go with it at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just, when we had the idea, when we were putting it together, we were real excited to share what we had completed with everyone. We took some press shots, we made some demos in our house, and we put it online. We thought a couple locals would be into it, and then the next thing you know, I had people from Australia contacting me about an interview and all this crazy stuff happening. It just blew up.
Well, what's the writing process for you guys like? Do you just watch The Simpsons and take notes, or do you have a kind of a process you go through?
It's kind of a nuanced version of that. We mostly what I'll do is I write the pretty much 100% of the songs, and so I'll kind of do some research online. I'll start with the internet first and dig up some certain Ned quotes. I'll be Googling through old Simpsons scripts and things. And then one of the first purchases we made as a band, our first band equipment purchase, was every existing DVD copy of The Simpsons. And so I'd find the episode that, I'd find a quote that I liked, go dig up the episode out of, be season 5, disc 3, throw it in there, flip to the episode, and then, see what other quotes I could pull from there, and then put a song together from that.
So as you guys go on, do you see maybe branching out a bit and doing, I guess, non-Nedal songs at some point? Or
I think for the most part we'll stick with mostly Nedal stuff. Our songs, I think I did the math on our record, it was about 75% direct Ned quotes, and then we pulled some quotes from some other characters. And then a couple of quotes where we did a couple original lyrics. When I was first putting together songs, I didn't know exactly what theme or what rules I was going to follow with it. So there weren't any. But as far as The Simpsons goes, there's there's 25 plus seasons of material to pull from. I'm pretty sure we could do quite a few records of just Ned quotes, though by the end of those records we'd probably be stretching it just a little bit.
So what is it about Ned Flanders that made you run with that? I mean, I know you talked about just figuring out the name of the band. Will you guys branch out with different characters more so at some point, or?
I think we'll stick just straight to Ned for now. With the character of Ned Flanders, what made him our ideal choice is he's as far as I can think of, the friendliest, most wholesome character on TV, and essentially just the complete opposite of what most metal bands and the metal genre kind of encompasses and stands for. So it was just putting two opposites together and seeing what happened. And yeah, with that Ned thing, we branch out a little bit and throw in quotes from other characters and whatnot, but it's primarily and heavily Ned.
Well, we've had Harry Shearer on our show before. Have you guys ever met him or any of the other people from The Simpsons, or have they contacted you about the band at all?
No, we haven't gotten any contact direct from The Simpsons, though. I think a while back when we first put our stuff online and everything was kind of trending, somebody had tweeted something directly to Al Jean, a picture of us or something. And Al Jean has been a long-running producer of the show. He responded commenting on the photo and all the band. I think he was disapproving of our drummer's chin hair, but I remember him saying that we were Okilly Dokilly with him. And that's essentially the closest to the real-life Simpsons we've ever gotten.
Yeah, who's to say? As you mentioned, there's been 25, 30-some seasons. I mean, if the show continues, maybe Okilly Dokilly might show up on the show at some point.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of be a kind of inception of things with a band influenced by that show actually appearing on that show. I mean, it'd be great. I'm absolutely not against it.
Well, we got to ask. I mean, obviously, Flanders has a certain look that I'm sure the ladies enjoy with the mustaches and whatnot. Does a Nedal band get more groupies than your average metal band? Maybe not as scary, so you might be friendlier to the gals.
It's hard to say. All the other bands that we've ever been in before never really achieved even a single groupie. And so, comparing our current number of Ednas to past bands, I got to say it's more. There are definitely more Ednas and mods because it's a lot easier to get more than zero.
Excellent. Well, we know you guys are coming this way to First Ave on March 10th as part of the Moxtrosity Tour. I read Max Sabbath and Metalachi, a couple other bands playing on the show. And this sounds like a pretty big tour, like you guys are playing a lot of dates.
Yeah, we're really excited for it. It'll be us and Max Sabbath and Metalachi kind of touring around the country, and just as far as a trio of bands to set on a show, and it'll be our first nationwide tour, so we couldn't have picked better bands to tour with, and we've met the guys from both of them, and they're super awesome guys, really crazy bands, and really really down to earth people who run it. So we're way excited to be on tour with those guys.
So tell the listeners what they can expect. What's an Okilly Dokilly show all about?
So Okilly Dokilly shows are all about kind of combining, the friendliness of Ned and anything that is as brutal you can think of. Like if something either has to be as close to Ned as possible or as brutal as possible. We don't have any in between. So usually we'll have a inflatable donut that we'll toss out into the crowd. I've seen somebody climb into it and crowd surf in the donut. We have one of our songs, which is Panic Room, that has a little country bit to it. And a lot of metal shows, you'll see a circle pit happen. We've actually seen people form a square pit, which was the heaviest square dancing that I've ever seen. And then on top of that, it's just 5 guys dressed like Ned, screaming Ned quotes and bouncing around the stage, and a whole lot of references to the show, and a lot of people having a good time.
Awesome. And we know the new album you guys have out, Howdily Doodly, just came out not too long ago. But are you guys working on anything new? Maybe coming out after the tour?
There's a couple new songs in the works. We're in the writing process right now, which just means watching a whole lot of the show and kind of picking out quotes and things. So they're in the works. We'll probably get started on something after this tour, and maybe while we're on tour, if we can get one of those little portable DVD players installed in the van and just play every episode of The Simpsons we have on tour, I think we'll have at least 2 or 3 albums ready to go by the time we're done.
Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely, even if you guys weren't dressed as Flanders, I think the music is cool, and it's great that you guys are getting out there and, have such a huge tour in store. So that's great that things are working out.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot for being on with us today. We love the band, and looking forward to seeing you here at First Ave.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for talking to me, guys.
All right, have a good one.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.